Hello, this is Andrine, a Jewish American priestess. And today we're doing a reading. We're going to have a pick an amulet reading. And it's going to be about the subject of healing. And what do you have that needs healing in your life? What are we doing to achieve that healing? And what's the outcome going to be for you? And I've got 3 different amulets to choose from. They're a little bit hard to see on this background, but I'll hold each of them up. The first one is this pine cone amulet. And it looks like this. Our second amulet is a glass amulet. And our third amulet is a pumpkin stem amulet. So take a minute to determine which of these is your amulet for the day. Is it your pine cone, your glass amulet, or your pumpkin stem amulet? I'll zoom in a little bit. If you'd like to, you can pause to see which one of those is resonating for you today. And I'll put the timestamps down below. And then we will see you in your separate readings. Hello, people who chose amulet number 1. Like I said, this is a pine cone amulet. We'll look at the different components of it here. So it has the Nazir bead, which is that evil eye protection bead. And then at the bottom we've got a pot of cardamom, which is for sweetness. Got a couple more beads, a tan bead and a blue bead, more cardamom. And then a few more beads at the top. We had another blue bead and a key. A key that sort of looks like an ankh. So something to open the way. And of course pine cone, which is, this one is opening up very nicely. Sometimes they're quite tight. But this one has this opening on it, and this is an amulet one can hang. Also a little bit of a silver leaf on there. You can see that at the top. So this amulet is for protection and for sweetness and for opening. And so we'll set this amulet up at the top here. Maybe we'll set it over here by the kind of the Leo-Virgo cusp, because that's where we're going in to at the end of this week, where we are in time. You can see that. I'll back it out a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to take a deck from our bowl of decks. I have written down the names of each of the oracle and tarot decks that I have. And we'll just shuffle that up until we choose one, and we'll pull one card from the deck that we choose. There's the deck. Let's see what we got today. We have I Tarocchi del Palio di Siena. So this is the tarot of the Palio of Siena, which is interesting because the Palio was actually run today. Yesterday, I guess, in Italy. So that, it's very interesting that that's the deck that came up. I'll go get that. I'll be right back. All right, so here's our deck. It's an interesting deck because it has each of the contrade, which are the neighborhoods in the town of Siena, all represented by a different animal. And it's all, the whole guidebook is in Italian. It's a large deck. And it comes with this book, which it's actually the Palio Campo where they run the race. So we'll go ahead and shuffle that and see which card's coming out for you today to discuss healing. It's really large. Let me see if I can do it this way, maybe. Nope, that's not easier. Let's do it this way. Okay, we're going to find a good card for you to find out what is it that you are healing, what's the route that you're going to take to get that healing, and what will be the outcome. And there is a bunch of cards that came out. I'm going to keep shuffling until we get one. I really want to jump. Okay, let's see. There's such a big deck. I think we got it here. Oh, wow. Terzo Camellia. Okay, so that's actually one of the territories. It's not a contrada at all. It's one of the territories of the three. Siena is built on 3 hills. So this is one of the hills. So let's see what it says in the book. Terzo Camellia is named after an area where there's an antique convent of women. So a nunnery, basically. And it calls to mind the time of the Knights Templar. And invokes Pope Alexander III. So what's interesting about this for me with regards to healing is that the nuns in Siena in particular were in charge of taking care of the ill. Particularly, Siena was hit very hard by the plague sometime in the past, and the nuns were responsible for caring for the ill. The Terzo Camellia is representing that idea of having women who sit in contemplation, meditation, in silence sometimes, caring for the ill. And so in this reading in particular, we're talking about healing and protection and opening and sweetness. The Terzo Camellia represents those monastic women who took care of the ill at this time in history. So whatever you've got going on with regards to your own healing, it may be time for you to find a time of contemplation, to sit in silence, and to let other people care for you if you need caring for. I think that's the first message I'm getting here. Let's pull out some Hebrunes as well and see what we get. I want to ask about what type of healing are we needing to do for those of you who chose amulet number 1. What type of healing are we talking about? What is the nature of that healing? We've got Mem. Mem is the mother letter of water, and it represents a womb space. So being in a place of gestation. And it may be a literal pregnancy or something having to do with the uterus or the womb, or it could just be healing through water. Maybe taking a mikvah or some kind of ritual bath. But whatever the case is, Mem is also the number 40 in Gematria. So I think it's going to be a sort of a long time of healing that's going to be required for this. And there may be periods of great contemplation, and water is going to be involved in this healing. The next letter I'm going to pull out is going to be about what's the best path for the healing. And what's the journey going to be like? And we have the letter Aleph. Aleph is the mother letter of air. So breath and contemplation, meditation. It's the number 1 in Gematria, so it's about the oneness of the divine and finding unity in trusting in the one. I know that these are different letters, but it's really interesting to me how much the Aleph is reminiscent of the K here in the Camellia. So we've got, and 2 mother letters, which is interesting because we have this feminine energy here with the convent. So we have Aleph and Mem, the 2 mother letters. And so this is about breath, and this is about water. Air and water. So our healing may take a while to take place with that number 40, that maybe 40 weeks. Maybe it's just 40 days. Gestation of some kind. through water, and then breath will be the method through which the healing takes place. Let's pull out one more letter about the outcome. And we have the Ein Sof, the blank. So that's about the unknown and the infinite one, the eternal, endless possibility, potential. So there's great possibility, but it's not clear yet. What's going to be the outcome here? Fascinating. The Ein Sof has so much potential within it. It has that ability to say the infinite one is here. So we've got 1, 40, and infinity. Really, really interesting. It's really, really interesting with regards to healing. We've got this gestation period and breath, and then endlessness, boundlessness. Just going on and on. I want to do some more letters, but I'm not sure I want to do Hebrunes. Let me think about this for a second. Yeah, I'm going to take some Nordic runes and toss these down as well. Yeah, I'm going to do one for each. So going back to the nature of the healing that needs to take place, our first letter is Yira. I don't know if you can see this. Yira is the letter that means harvest. So interestingly, because Mem is also very, the 40 is a long time, it's a big number. It seems like there's a lot of time that's going to pass with this illness or whatever, with this healing. Let's not call it an illness, let's call it a healing. And the harvest is this outcome. It's like something that has been planted and then grown, and then it's being reaped. So this gestation is similarly something that's growing over a period of time. But there is harvest that comes from it, which is very lovely. And let's look at a letter from the runes for the method by which the healing will take place. Get some clarity on that. Aleph, which is about air and breath and oneness. And we have Algiz. Algiz is the letter that means protection. So having support, having an enormous amount of support. Algiz is the elk or the moose. And that's all about protection. It looks a little bit like a antler. So protection, support, having support, both inner and outer support. Support from the divine in particular, because we're talking about the one here. And let's pull out one for the outcome of this healing. And we have Ivaz. Ivaz is the yew tree, and it's about slow growth, slow development, taking things step by step. So it may seem like an eternity, but and it's also about traveling between worlds. So it's the world tree. So it's about going from the underworld into this world and into the above world as well. So really interesting reading. I'm just going to go back over it. So we have for you with the pine cone, we start out with this idea of protection and opening, the key, with the pine cone being very open on this side, and the Nazir bead to ward off the evil eye. So protection and opening. And then we have Terza Kamalia, which is about being in a monastic state, particularly females being in a monastic state that is caring for the ill. Our issue is the Mem, which is the mother letter of water, gestation, and a long period of gestation. The healing that comes through water through mikvah, through cleansing. The method by which the healing will take place is the Aleph, which is about air, breath, and oneness of the divine. And the outcome is the Ein Sof, which is infinite potential and eternity. Also the eternal one. So we have the one here, and then we have one to eternity. So both of those represent the divine in a lot of ways. And our clarifiers here are showing that the mem about water brings us to yira, which is harvest. So we're watering things, and then things become harvested after that long gestation period. There will be a harvest. That our method is the breath, and also support. Getting support from your female caregivers who are here to support you through your illness. And our outcome letter in the runes is the Ivaz, which is about the yew tree, the world tree, that which travels between the upper and lower worlds and is a very slow growth, long, enduring outcome. So the outcome may take a long time to be healed, but it also will have an endurance when it does become healed. So for those of you who chose the pine cone, this is your reading. It's a very interesting reading. I haven't done this kind of healing reading before. But I hope that you found it useful. I did. I found it very useful for me. And I will look forward to seeing you in the future. Hello, amulet number 2, people. This is your amulet. Let's take a look at it. So this is a glass amulet, and it is full of many different things. This one has salt for protection. I see rose petals for love, sage for cleansing, clearing. I think there's cacao in this one for sweetness and nourishment. And I see gold, of course, for value. And then as far as our, oh yeah, there's a Nazir bead inside as well. I don't think there's one on the outside, but I see one inside, an evil eye bead. We have, I think there's also poppy seeds in here. No, maybe not. Yeah, it could be. Cloves for sure, cloves for helping with pain. They're very numbing. And then on the outside we have cardamom for sweetness, and bells, and a leaf, and a red bead. There's another clove for the numbing of pain. And then these 2 clock hands, which are representative of time. And of course the red ribbon is about protection as well. So that's the glass amulet we're looking at today. And so it's about healing over time and making sure that we have all the love and protection and sweetness that comes with the need for for healing. All those things are necessary. So we'll set this over here, and let's start with, we're going to choose a deck today. I've got this bowl of all the decks, and we're going to shuffle that up and choose a deck, and we'll pull one card from one of the decks today. Let's see what we get. Deck that's coming is the Sooth Oracle. Okay, let's go grab that. I'll be right back. Okay, here's our oracle. It is a really interesting set of round cards, very large, and they have 2 different kinds of cards. They have the ladies, and they're called the ways, and then the houses. And I'm not going to separate them out into the different varieties of cards in here. We're just going to shuffle and pull one card, and then we'll read about it. It's a very fascinating deck. It's pretty new to me, and I think it's just new in the world. This couple of women worked very hard and long to come up with these paintings and words. It's very archaic sounding when one reads the poetry. So let's see what your healing is about today. And there's your card. Let's see what we have here. Wow, okay. I'll have to look this up because I'm not as familiar with this yet. Give me a minute. Okay, this one is called the Herb of Making. And it looks like a lot of different, look like a plant with some sun. Let's see. It's got two different things we can read, the spin and the thread. Here's what the spin says. Revolve, revolve, she who sits the stars call. Span the embers, watch their spread. Heat makes the world, heat welds the mold. Star poured in gold, hands thrown in whole. Silver hands, spring hands, wet hands, so. Touch the herb of making, touch the root of pain. There among the stars' den grow cunning holy stems, to staunch the wound of ages, to bless the broken heart, to bake into the feast day, to line the birthing cart. She who grows with blossom hands, he who melts the gold, revolve what blooms, revolve what stays, sit out till dawn, that milk-drenched way. Like I said, these writings are very interesting and archaic, but there are hints here about pain and broken hearts and birthing carts. And then there's something called the thread, which is a little bit more linear. And what it says is, for every wound, there is a countering plant that mends. Green life will heal your sorrow. Allow green to ease through what pains you, what has been lost. Spring fills the ache of winter. Blossoms and light are what must be poured through the laying on of hands. Obstacles, wounds, and illness direct the way toward healing. Green herbs counter poison, lance infection, soothe cramps, and shame. What comes your way in the form of wounding is in fact medicinal milk, brewed by the cunning woman's hand. The principles of green health are with you. Learn to direct what pains into what heals. The poison and the cure are clasped hands. This is really fascinating. I'm not, like I said, I'm not very familiar with this deck yet, but this card is speaking about healing way more than any of the other cards I've read so far. So we definitely have a healing reading going on here today. So there's herbs involved, and it's healing not only physical illness, but cramps and shame. Taking what might be considered poison and turning it into a balm that can heal. Really interesting. Okay. Let's see what Hebrunes want to come out today. We're going to pull out 3 to start to see what is the illness, what is the way to healing, and what is the outcome of the healing. So let's start out. I'm going to set this maybe a little off to the side so we can lay down the letters in the center. So what is the wound or the illness or the ailment that we're trying to heal today? What's the nature of the healing that needs to take place? And we have Nun. And Nun is a letter that represents humility. So maybe there's some kind of contemplation that needs to take place, some solitude, some kind of sitting in silence, and that there's a miracle that can come from this. Ness is also a word that begins with Nun. So we have the concept of humility and the concept of sort of loyalty and fidelity. And then we have miracles that can come from that as well. So finding humbleness, or maybe even humiliation, which because we had the shame that came up from the reading of the card as well. So maybe we are healing shame and maybe infidelity, or some kind of lack, something that has really humbled us. And it could be a physical thing. It could be just having a bent knee, having some issue that has brought us low. So that's the nature of the illness, is the nun. And nun is the number 50 in gematria, and 50 has got, it's got this idea of something very long. It's not quite 100, but it's a long-term illness. It's been going on for some time. Okay, let's see what the path toward healing will look like for you. What is the path toward healing? Path toward healing is Lamed. Lamed is the letter that stands for Lev, the heart. So really tapping into the heart and being hopeful, reaching up for hope. Discernment is tied up in the Lamed. Taking in information and being able to discern what is useful and what to throw away. The heart mind, using the heart mind to discern. Using the kishkas, feeling with your guts how to move forward, feeling with your heart and mind and intestines. Lamed is affiliated with the intestines in the body. Digesting information and releasing that which no longer serves, and taking in the nourishment of what you have received. So there may be something around food and herbs. Taking in maybe medicinal herbs that are going to help with the healing from whatever this humbling illness has been. And let's see what the outcome might be for this healing as well. What kind of outcome? Kaf. Okay, Kaf is the letter that represents the palm of a hand. It's being lifted up by the divine, being lifted up by the Shekhinah, and it's koach, it's strength. So there'll be great strength that comes out of this. Also, Kaf has got this sense of something covering the head, so it could be a crown, keter, or a kippah, a hat, some kind of hat, but it's also like the roof of the sukkah. This is number 20 in gematria, so it has this feeling of the 20 is the maximum height of the roof of a sukkah. So something is covering over the head, something that is sheltering, maybe the hand of the divine sheltering over, as well as lifting up. There's great strength, and I think this is really beautiful so far. So you've got this humbling illness, something that has maybe been humiliating, and it can be an emotional thing, it could be a shame thing, but it could also just be something that has really brought you low. That the path to healing is through the heart mind and the discernment and knowing what to receive and what to release. Also being hopeful. And our outcome is strength and being lifted by the hand of the divine and being sheltered by the hand of the divine. So really beautiful healing path here. And the first reading I pulled out some Nordic runes as well. I don't feel as drawn to do that right now, but I will pull out one. Since we had so much to read about the card, I'm just going to pull out one Nordic rune for this spread as well, just to give us clarity about the whole situation. Are we, with this whole healing path, this healing journey for those who chose amulet number 2, let's see, one letter. And we have algiz. Algiz is the elk. It's about support and protection. It looks like an antler, and it means protection. So being protected using, I think, protective herbs in this case, being protected by the divine, again with that sheltering hand and that lifting hand, and being protected by your own discernment, your own heart, mind, your lev, your pure heart. And staying humble will bring you that protection. So for those of you who chose this amulet, whatever you're trying to heal, that's brought you low, that's brought you to humility or humiliation, it just brought you low, you're in a place of really deep contemplation right now. But there's a miracle inherent in the nun. that your path is through the heart mind. And these healing herbs, we can trust in the divine providing us with that support. The hands, I talked about the hands in that reading as well. The hands of the crafter, the one who makes the healing herb. So this has been your reading. Trust in that protection that's coming to you from the divine. Trust in the one who is sheltering you and lifting you up. That's going to be your outcome, that strength, that koach, and being crowned maybe with a keter, or at least being able to wear some kind of hat, getting some kind of covering to shade you from the sun. This has been your reading about your healing. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Welcome, amulet number 3. We've got the pumpkin stem amulet. This pumpkin stem came from an actual pumpkin. A few years ago, I think our grandson picked it. And we have many symbols here. We've got the evil eye bead, which is here for protection. We've got cardamom for sweetness, tied on by a little floral bead. A bell to call in ancestors and ward off evil spirits. We have a anise, star anise on the top. So the star, which is about hope and aspiration, and then it's sewn on with the red thread, which is about protection. All of these are sewn on with red thread. So yeah, really a beautiful amulet for protection and sweetness and calling in the ancestors. We'll set this over here in this area. And then we're going to pull out one deck today from my bowl of decks. We're going to pull out a slip of paper. We have all of my decks written on these slips of paper, and we'll pull one card from a deck today and then do some Hebrunes. Let's see what deck wants to come for the healing that is coming for you. And here's our paper. Let's see what we have. Medicine cards, perfect medicine for healing reading. Let me go grab those. I'll be right back. All right, here's our deck of cards. So your animal medicine cards based on a variety of different native rituals from the Turtle Island. And I'll go ahead and shuffle these up. And we'll pull one card today. These are a very large deck also. All large decks today. Let's see which animal medicine card wants to come out for you today. I think it's this one. All right, let's see which medicine card we have today. We have Frog, number 38. All right, let's read about Frog. Frog is all about cleansing. Water prepares and cleanses the body for sacred ceremony. It's the element that we understand best in the womb. So there's this transition and transformation that comes with being a frog, because it starts out as a pollywog, and then it, in the water, learns to swim, and then eventually grows legs and learns to hop. So Frog is calling to say, you may need some cleansing. Look at where you are and use any of the words to describe your condition. Are you feeling tired or overloaded or frustrated, guilty, nervous, empty, or weak? If so, take a break and allow yourself to bathe in the waters of frog medicine. It might mean taking a long, relaxing bath, disconnecting from social media or your phone, or taking some deep cleansing breaths. So Frog is here to remind us to find cleansing through whatever way is appropriate for you right now. Listen to the weather. Maybe the rain will fall down and give you a chance to clear away any negative energy. Listen to the thunder and lightning. And find a place to give yourself some solace maybe some kind of gestation in the waters. So do some bathing, bringing in that nourishing water that comes from the divine. So that's our first message today, is find your way through cleansing. We'll set Frog off to the side here. And we're going to pull out 3 Hebrunes to start. The first will be about what is the nature of the healing that needs to take place right now. What's the nature of the healing? And the first letter we have is the letter Beit. Beit is the home, and it's also the body. So, and maybe also the earth. So where do we dwell is what I think of with Beit. And Beit is the binary transformation of life and death as well. So there's something that's very powerful about taking care of your home, wherever you live. And that, again, could be just taking care of your body by doing that cleansing. It may be about cleaning up your environment, your home, making sure it's all order and tidy so that there's not chaos, and or taking care of the earth and cleansing up your area of influence in your life. So that's the nature of the healing. We're doing healing of the body, healing of the home, and healing of the earth itself through cleansing, however that looks. What's the path through which that healing will take place? What's the best way to bring that healing about? And we have Gimel. Gimel is a foot. It's about walking forward. And it can be also about running forward, so moving quickly. Maybe getting some exercise, maybe even taking a run. I don't know, walking more. Getting out and taking walks. Maybe walks in the rain even. That's what seems right. Taking care of your body by moving, walking. And also Gimel is affiliated with justice because it rules over the planet Jupiter in the sky. In the Sefer Yetzirah, it's affiliated with the planet Jupiter, and Jupiter is tzedek in Hebrew, which means justice. So we're walking for justice. Maybe we need to take a protest march even, but some kind of justice. But moving your body is one of the ways that you're going to heal and cleanse it. Maybe getting out and moving quickly enough that you break a sweat so that you can bring some of that water through your own system. This is really different than the other readings. Let's see what the outcome of our healing journey will be. So it does seem like it's going to be a journey for the folks who chose this amulet. Find out what the outcome is. And we have tzadi, which is justice. So tzedek. Tzadi is the letter that begins the word tzedek or tzadik, or someone who's righteous or just. We're pursuing righteousness. And so what's so interesting about this, the previous reading we had the letter nun. We don't have nun here, but we have it here anyway. We have it here twice. The tzadi has the letter nun kind of bent over with a yud on it. So it looks like humility really bent over with the divine, the yud of the yud he vav he on the back of it. So there is humility inherent in justice. The other thing about tzadi is that it's the letter that I affiliate with Asherah, because it's affiliated with the tribe of Asher, and it's the month of Shvat, which is where we celebrate the trees, the birthday of trees, Tu B'Shvat. And the goddess who dwells in those trees is Asherah. So there's something very powerful about earth justice here with the trees and the birthday of the trees, the humility, divinity here at the back of humility, pushing us forward. And the Gimel also, if you take off its foot, its tail, its heel, looks like a nun. So humility again, but being spurred forward by another tiny yud, by the divine. So we're moving forward toward justice, and then we're arriving at justice. Really beautiful reading, but I think movement is a big part of it. Joining a movement, marching, taking care of your own body to bring about the justice that you require in the situation through the cleansing of whatever it is you're cleaning right now. You think about this, we've got this protection and sweetness and calling on the ancestors with that bell. I'm going to pull out a couple of Nordic runes as well, just to get some clarity. What's going to assist us in this healing journey? We have Raido. Raido is about riding. It's moving forward. It's the same sense. It's the same feeling as that Gimel. I think I affiliate these two letters in my Hebrunes book. The Raido is about riding forward, moving forward toward justice. Yeah, Raido is affiliated with Gimel in my booklet because it is about riding forward. And the horse is implied. The horse is the divine. It's the spirit. So this is having some agency to drive the horse forward. Raido is about, journey, riding, progress. And so the thing that's going to help is to continue moving forward. Gimel and Raido are the two I put together when I sat with these, because it is about moving forward and moving forward rapidly and having some agency in doing so. So that's fascinating. That showed up twice. And then what's not going to help? What's the thing that's going to be a challenge, I guess, is my next question in this reading. What's the most challenging part about this healing journey? And we have Isa, stillness. It's so clear. Stillness, ice. Isa is ice, and it's the stillness through which clarity comes. But since it's below as a hindering, it's stopping. Stopping is going to be problematic. So our frog is saying it's time to do some cleansing. It's time to, get out and really clean ourselves out. Clean our minds, clean our bodies, clean our spirits, take care of our home, take care of our body, take care of the earth. And the way we're going to move forward is by moving forward, by actually physically moving, going out for walks, going out for runs maybe, finding a movement to join, marching if that's necessary, moving toward justice. And where that will bring us to is the outcome of tzadi, which is justice. And the Asherah. Asherah is the feminine divine that lives in the trees. Again, so earth justice, taking care of the earth, making sure that we are cleansing the earth, watering the plants. And Asher, the tribe that is affiliated with the tzadi, it means happy. So there's happiness that comes with that as well. Humility is tied up in both of these. The Gimel and the tzadi both have the nun kind of inside of them. So, and they both have the yud pushing them forward. So this one has got divinity at its back, and this one's got divinity at its heel. And there's pushing us forward toward justice. What's going to help is moving forward, right, though, which is, again, the same as the Gimel. And what's not going to help is stillness and staying still. So for those of you who chose the pumpkin amulet, again, I think about the pumpkin also reminds me of Cinderella, the carriage that carries us forward, similarly to the Raido and the Gimel. So we're being carried forward, and we're finding our cleansing, our transformation through water. So really beautiful reading for those of you who chose the pumpkin stem amulet. I hope you found it really helpful and interesting about your healing journey. Take care of your body. Make sure you move. And find your joy and happiness and justice. I hope this was useful for you. I'll look forward to seeing you here next time.